Okay, guys. So we're gonna get started. We're replay reviewing the RLCS Major that happened weekend. We're just gonna point out some potential rotation fixes for the RLCS teams that lost this weekend. This one specifically for Shopify Rebellion. I believe they lost. I could be wrong. I don't remember the replay. Uh, it looks like Twisted Minds won. Yeah, they were in the finals, I think. I don't remember. It was a weekend ago. So we're gonna look at the game one. They lost 2-0. Let's see if there's anything they could have done to mitigate the goals they were scored on. Um, so let's just play this here. Go right about here. I think we're gonna slow it down just so I can talk here. I think it's shift. Yeah. So let's play this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so they got a good shot on goal. We're not going to talk about it because there's a lot of shots that happen in RLCS, and obviously, if they shot that better, that probably could have been a goal. But gonna ignore that. We're gonna look at defensive mistakes and focus on like rotation and things they could have done better. Okay, so this is leading up to Twisted Mind scoring a goal. I'm kind of curious to see like what the rotation looks like, if they could have done anything better. And so far, I think there is a little bit of something they could have done better here. I think LJ's a little low boost and he's kind of like out of the play right now. If the ball goes left, he could get it, but I think he almost there needs to be a little bit of more effort, right, getting back. I think they're just driving here. I think there needs to be initiative to get back because he was go here. Because they were right there. First killer was right here, right? This is our third, right? This guy's third. This guy is hopefully taking it to goal. Okay. Trying to take it to the goal. So if he's our third, right, we need someone back. And I get that he will be back if they time it right. But there needs to be some initiative, mostly because if this 50 goes sour and it goes like here or here, um, and someone was actually like mid, he's kind of pushed up really far for some reason, then this is like an open net, especially with zero boost, um, full boost here, full boost here. Like this is something that someone can take and immediately score. And yeah, first killer can cut in and like protect, but I think there needs to be some initiative getting back on one of them. Like get back so that you can grab, right? Because they're kind of just driving, they're collecting these pads, but the pads are gone. Um, and also first killer, like this needs to be kind of what they gotta do here. Or honestly, like this as well. This could be a thing. This could be a thing as well. But just try to get back as quick as possible. One of them. One of them. Right? There could be one person diddly daddling and ready to turn in if something goes. But I think just having like these two people like kind of like facing their own goal while a 50 happens is very sketchy. Um, this was kind of a bad 50. I mean, he kind of missed it completely, but he did push him off, so that's fine. So the ball goes over here. Um, kind of a weird turn in from LJ. I feel like he could have been a little bit wider, so he could have gotten a better angle on this. But you never know what's going to happen. Um, and also, I think him going for like boost here as well is very sketchy. Mostly because we don't know if LJ is going to get beat to this ball. This guy's going for it, right? He's right on the ball. He could shoot this. He could get this over LJ, right? So you're leaving this space right here. So I'm noticing like just like a lot of space being left open from them. and not like initiative. And they trust their third a lot. And I get it's professional play, but also like your third has 10 boosts. And so there could be a little bit more initiative to defend the net here. But that's fine. Let's just ignore all of that. He gets a good touch. Actually, did first killer miss that boost he went for? Oh no. Okay, so this all makes sense now. This all makes sense. Because I was gonna say, oh, and he goes back for it. He goes back for it. Okay. So this is why they got scored on. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is why they got scored on. Because so first of all, LJ gets a good touch. He turns in, touches it, bangs it up field, right? Prevents in WPO, I forget how to pronounce his name, from scoring. Okay, so that's a good touch. Ball's flying this way. Okay. Gopher's gonna try to go for it. I think he gets a misread here. I think he jumped too soon. So he's probably gonna miss. So we'll see what happens. But either way, the ball's flying this way. Look at who's covering second man, right? So right now, he's landing. So he can kind of be second man, but he's got 0 boost. Okay. If we like draw a line behind like Cover to the net, right? Like no one is covering. No one is covering this area. I think yellow is coverage, so let's just do that. Like no one is covering this area, which is fine. But like this path from the ball to the net or the play to the net is very scary. Because for one, first killer's not there. If someone like takes it up, first killer's third right now. He's second, but he won't be able to go for anything that's taken up. Right? And a lot of pros like to take things up high when they get the opportunity. And they're about to get the opportunity because it looks like Kofer's going to miss. He could not miss, but it's looking like he's going to miss. I'm not going to lie. So they're going to have a lot of open space here. A lot of open space, right? They're going to have this whole area of open space. Now, if LJ lands here and then he slows down and here, that could be mitigated a little bit, but we'll see what happens here. Let's just watch. Okay, so Kofer misses. Monkey Moon gets a nice little touch. So you see how Monkey Moon clears. He's going to clear it, but you can see how he's oriented. So the ball is going to go to this area. Look how much space is here, right? Like this is almost a guaranteed goal. Like no one is covering the side of the field. This is the side of the play, right? So you need someone at least facing this area and right to defend. Now I think if first killer didn't miss that boost, he would be there. But I also think him turning back caused him to not be there as well. So what he should have done is after he missed this boost, he should have carried this way. Followed Kofer's little touch, and then as soon as he missed and the ball goes a certain way, you try to out 50 this guy or this guy, depending on like who goes and how the ball plays. So him turning back for this boost, right, opens up all of this space, and that opens up one of these guys to take it directly to the net. And there's not a single thing that LJ can do because he's facing this way and he's probably about to rotate this way. If he doesn't rotate this way and goes for this, that's another mistake because you're leaving first killer now as third. He has to go up for this because they're probably going to take it in the air or up the wall or do something towards the net. So he's going to have to commit to save it, which leads a lot of space after first killer commits for them to score. So I bet what's going to happen is he's probably going to go here. The ball is going to get tapped over here somewhere. Someone's going to take it up, go up. First skiller is going to have to commit to save it. Going to fail to commit, and then the ball is just going to be like open, and they're scored. Let's see what happens. So he takes it up. First killer is awkward. He taps it. And honestly, this is kind of a mistake from LJ as well, but we're going to see. And it's a goal. Let's see what LJ could have done here. I think there's a better way of rotating here. But I also think like I honestly I don't know. I mean, that's kind of hard to tell. Let's look at his angle here. See if there's a way he could have known where it was going to be going. We're looking at LJ. Yeah. So coming in, he's got full. That's really good. He got there quick. Yeah, I don't know why he went up the wall here. So what you want to do here is you want to slow down. So I would let me go into free game. And so I would be okay, I'd be right here. Oh, jeez. Hold up, guys. So usually when your third's about to commit and make a play, you want to slow down. So I'd probably be right here. I'd slow down. I wouldn't be boosting. I wouldn't be supersonic. I would just be driving. And then as soon as that 50 happens, which is going to happen like up here somewhere, maybe like usually they pros, what they'll do is they'll fly backwards. They have more time to connect with the ball. Because if you fly at the ball from here, they can take it over. So they'll try to meet like somewhere over here. And this will be a 50, right? It could not be a 50, right? So I don't understand this whole like get up on the wall and try to defend. You don't know where the ball is going. Okay. So I would come in through like right here, slow down, wait to see if he has the 50, like maybe like right around here, just enough so I could save it if it gets like past him. Or like over here. I don't remember where the ball is flying. I can't tell from this angle, but you get the gist. I would slow down and be right here. So that way I could support my teammate if it drops down from a 50, if it goes here, if it goes here. Like the whole point is you have like this cone of coverage, okay? Pros have a very wide cone of coverage, so I'm going to draw that. And if you are, you pretty much want to predict where that 50 is going to happen. You want to have your cone there. Okay. And probably facing more wide. So like it's like this or like that, more like that. This could also be a good place to be. But I think if you're gonna like go to the post, you have to have like kind of a more, you have to be like coming from here. Oh, jeez. Oh, oh, okay, I know what's happening. I keep touching the bar. So you have to be coming from like this angle towards the goal. If you're coming from this angle and a 50 is about to happen, the amount of time that you're gonna take to get to here, the 50 is already going to have happened, and you would have to like stretch to get to the result. Which is why I say coming through here if there's already like a 50 happening, because now if the 50 like goes down like this way or over here or like over here, you're like already meeting it. It makes it a little bit harder like if it goes like here, but usually that's not gonna happen if you have someone 50ing it. So I would have slowed down. I would have just waited right here. And then now now that I know like, hey, he's not getting that 50 pass, I would turn in. And then that would be a free ball. I could have cleared it. I could have done things. So this is one mistake from LJ that I would have liked to be patched up and just have like a cutoff here. Good block from first killer. Yeah. And then also, like, you see how, like, now first killer has to get, like, a double touch when instead he could have just turned in and saved first killer from that problem? That's the goal. The goal isn't to have, like, one person constantly double 50ing it. The goal is to have one person 50, teammate backs up immediately, right? You wanna have people on the ball over and over and over again. Okay? That's how you gain pressure, is you constantly beat people to 50s and balls to gain possession. Um, I don't think there was really anything first killer could have done other than just, like, not go back for that second boost, and Kofor kinda played pretty well, I would say, other than that one miss. So, like, all 3 of them had mistakes that led to this goal, and I think that's why they get scored on, right? Yeah, I think if 2 people had a mistake, they wouldn't have gotten scored on in professional play. Um, so that's something to keep in mind, right? Like, if you're getting scored on, probably all 3 and you're at, like, a high level, probably all 3 of you messed up somewhere. Um, and even pros, like, I'm honestly surprised he went back for that boost. I guess he got complacent and thought, like, "Oh, my team can handle that." But you can't get complacent in these tournaments, especially in RLCS, like, Major. Um, like, yeah, you need full boost, but also, like, positioning matters a lot more than full boost. So that was interesting to look at. Let's look at the next goal, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. Okay, let's pause it. Let me go back to my position here. Just talking about defense for now and, like, positioning. We're not talking about scoring because, a lot of the scoring is just consistency and, positioning, and maybe that'll be a separate video, like, why did, um, Twisted Minds, why were they able to score 2 goals and, the other team wasn't, right? Okay. So, let me switch back to this. Okay, so they get a good clear. This is very interesting because I feel like Rebellion should have scored this. I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but you have Monkey Moon like facing this way. He's 0. MWPO is 0, right? So if they just can control this off the backboard and get like a good pass, that's probably a goal. Or if he just like controls on the backboard and double taps it in, that's a goal. So maybe just like a lack of mechanics here. I don't know. Yeah, because this is a good setup for like a goal scorer. If he has the mechanics to do it and bang it off this wall, like I think this is a goal every time. And in it, if LJ like recognizes this and plays mid while first killer is rotating out, this definitely could be a goal. He passes it. I think that was a mistake. I think that's a mistake, but we're not going to talk about it unless that ends up in immediately a goal. Okay, no, that's a We're just gonna watch it for now. I have this on 50% speed, just so I could talk and analyze. The goal is not to read it real time. That's a good touch. He jumped a little bit low though. I think he could have gotten that if he boosted higher and jumped. Flipped quicker. Yay. Just a mechanics thing though. You can't really play. I'm noticing their touches are kind of doo-doo. They're not very like controlled. They're not touching it to where um Twisted Minds is not, right? They're like tapping it, trying to get a setup, but they're not paying attention. Could be misplays, could be just like the first game, right? They're getting warm. Good save. Still winning though. Okay, so let's rewind this. See, like, how did they get in this position right here, where like first killer's not back, LJ's not back. Let's watch this rotation and see how they gotta fix it. All the way back here. What is? Let me watch this. Okay, so the first thing was first killer didn't get this like touch on the wall. I think he could have gotten it, honestly. I think he could have went higher and hit it. That's okay. Like, pressure's happening. They have to rush. That's gonna happen. That's fine. But hopefully he rotates this way. That's fine. Let's see why LJ is at this angle though. That doesn't make sense to me. I would this is a little bit sketchy. This is a little bit sketchy because you don't know if your teammate actually has that pass, and you're kind of leaving Kofer in like a 1v3 because he's getting boost right now. So he's going to be delayed in the second man push, which means they're probably going to beat him to the ball. Or it's going to be a 50 or a weird touch. So I don't like this creep up. I think Kofer should have been calling, hey, I'm getting boost. I might be slow as second man or third man. Obviously the pressure, like, I don't know what comms they got. I don't know how to describe that in comms, but there's definitely a way. So I would have liked some like slow down a little bit. Just like slow down, see what happens at the play and then push, right? Because for one, like, this guy's flipping back. There's not gonna be anyone like over here. You're gonna have time to make your play. He might go for a demo here, so you gotta dodge that. But other than that, like, it's safe. It's safe over here. Like, nothing crazy is gonna happen, and you're gonna maintain pressure just by being there, not pushed up. So just interesting. Like, and it's gonna be a goal anyway if he gets it over here, because this guy's flipping this way. So like, just very weird. Very weird to me that he would push up here. Deep behind this line, I would say. And then you could like fly up and go for it. Or if you don't fly up for it, you could at least be back to like cover quicker. Let's see what he does now. Okay, he's here. That's good. That's good. He gets a good touch. Overall, like, he still managed to get there and do things. I just think like it worked out for him this time. I think if that ball went high, he would not have been able to do it. It probably would have been a goal too. So let's continue. First killer, I don't know why he went all the way over here. He's really leaving like his third out in no man's land. Now the goal is completely open if he misses. So he should be like coming. He should have been already like through here. Judging by that like distance, be like right here. With 1, 2, 3, probably not that bad. So like 40 extra boost than what he has instead of NASCARing. And like getting a kill on Monkey Moon didn't matter. Like, you want to like protect your net, and this is something I noticed while watching their game. Is like their third was like out of like never there on time. Really second, man, because if their first is going, like, he's technically second / third. But yeah, I think like as soon as he landed and he realized he wasn't get that touch and that his teammates had to pick up his mess, he should be in like that. So it gets a bad touch. That's okay. Goes. He's still there to go for it. I just think like you can't do anything after you hit the ball now. And he got bumped too. He got bumped because he's coming in from there. So now his like angle of attack is more clear for this guy to hit. If he came in through here, he probably could have saved that. I'm gonna say it. And then I think LJ too, like, look at his positioning again as third. If he didn't flip here, he's flipping across right here. He could have gotten a kill on Monkey Moon, right? Trust first killer to be back. He's covering this. Bump or kill Monkey Moon. If you can't get the bump, rotate in. but like be prepared to save it. So that's what he did. He tried to like pre-flip the bump. I think he could have gone slower and then bumped him from when he was behind. That's just me. And if you can't like get the bump, like play the man, you know, because this ball is going to be bouncing somewhere. It's going to be like going in front of the net somewhere if first killer doesn't get this. So play the man. Try to like, if he starts going for the ball, ram him or ram the ball. You know, he pushed up. He telegraphed his movements, and now like Monkey Moon knows he has to stay back. Right? If he had like been behind Monkey Moon coming in, Monkey Moon maybe would have gone for this, and then he could have rammed him. That's very sketchy play, but like I think it's better. That's still a really good play from TRK though. What? Did first killer get bumped? Yeah, he did. But I'm losing track of everything now after talking. Yeah, and I actually think like this wouldn't have been a goal if LJ didn't block that. I think like if LJ just bumped Monkey Moon, what's his name would have been able to get back and save that. That's still like so hard to predict though. That's such a good shot too. Like such a good bump. And it all resulted from just like all of their mistakes. Again, I think they have a major problem with like first touches. If I'm saying it, like he had a bad first touch. He couldn't get the touch on that wall over here. And that led to like his main problem is he goes for like big boost. He like leaves for big boost, and it's weird. It's very weird. Like he could be doing so much more in the play than just like going for a big boost. That's okay. It's not okay because they got scored on, but yeah. And then LJ's big problem, I think, is like when there's threes, like or when they're defending and he's not like the third man, he's rotating in. His positioning's a little bit wonky and it prevents him from getting a lot of saves. But he's still got the save here. It just didn't go his way. And it was a good shot. So props to TRK. But we're talking about their mistakes, and I think there were some mistakes that, like, if they had gotten better touches, if they had rotated a little bit quicker, they could have dodged the demo, got the save, prevented this whole situation from happening, right? Because there's no one like going for this, because he already like missed the ball and gave it to him. So just a lot of mistakes that I see. What I'm trying to think of, like, it really is at like the professional level, like they just make these small mistakes because they really didn't make that many mistakes. It was just like, now obviously we're only looking at like these two parts of the game. I'm sure they made like a ton of mistakes here, right? But just in terms of like how they got scored on, just like this touch right here, this awkward touch, like you had full boost, you knew where the ball was, and you still hit the ball like to them. That kind of mistake is what causes like positioning errors from first killer to come out. And honestly, like his 50 here was a little off, but like in terms of like covering for people, he did it. I would say he did a good job here. I would say like this here was a little off. He could have gotten the bump on Monkey Moon, but maybe he knew like it was going to be a double tap. He was going for the bump, so he had to save it. So that's like thinking back that he's getting bumped here. This is probably a good play to go for instead of the bump on Monkey Moon. Even like me looking at this, you know, it's very hard to tell like what's a good play, like because you don't know. It's just like you have experience on how things work, and you kind of just have to like recognize patterns and practice it. And if a pattern works, then you continue to do so. So I'm not gonna dock him for anything he did here because I think, like, if he can see him getting bumped, I would probably go and try to save it as well. I'm gonna dock him for that 50 here. He kind of rushed the 50, kind of dove into the wall. That caused this whole situation for the ball to like be popped up here. That caused Kofor to rush. So it was a lot of like just panic touches, panic 50s. They're not like controlling their 50s, picking their spots. They're rushing. He's not rushing. He's taking his time doing that, and then also that. So I'm not dogging. I mean, First Killer is a better player than I am, but pros do make obvious mistakes, and I think that was a mistake. Well, let me know if you guys like this series. We're gonna go over the other series or goals in later series episodes, I guess. Hopefully, the next matches, because this is the first game, right? They're gonna make plenty of mistakes in the first game. I'm surprised it was this low of a score. Props to Twisted Mind for handling the first game well. Like 2-0. That's really good. They had a lot of saves too from what I'm looking. So maybe the offense on Rebellion was a lot better than their defense. And that's honestly what I was noticing. They were overcommitting a lot. And like trusting their third man a lot. They had a lot of trust in their third man. I think that's pretty bad in pro play when you can just bump the third guy. So yeah. Let me know if you guys like this episode, if you disagree, if you agree. Clearly, I don't know everything. I've reviewed a lot of replays. I'm SSL. Obviously, a lot of what I said right here is just conjecture and me kind of working it through in my head, what I would do. So I'm missing a lot of like professional strategizing or strategies that one of you guys might know and can explain. So I'd like to know like your thoughts on these different goals. Thanks for watching.